We got to talk about it, chat. We got to talk about it today. And this epic Spurs collapse yesterday that lost to the New York Knicks, being up 29 points at halftime, is going to get the blame from Mitch Johnson, the head coach. It's going to get the blame from Victor Wembanyama. And third, but simply not least, De'Aaron Fox. You're going to get a lot of the blame too. But we'll talk about this in a second when I get into the video. But if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know we get the live sports videos on YouTube. We're getting back into the swing of things. And we got to talk about this game last night. The game last night between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs was nothing short of sensational. If you watch this game in the first half, San Antonio completely dominated the game. Completely controlled the game. And we thought we were headed for a 2-2 series going back to San Antonio for game 5. Hey, it's looking like it's going to go 7 games. And last night, I was completely wrong. We texting everybody at halftime, yo, this game is over. It's a blowout. It's not even close. Even if the Knicks do come back sort of in the second half, the Spurs are still going to somehow find a way to win. And the complete opposite happened last night. And again, this epic collapse last night, we're going to start with Mitch Johnson. Mitch Johnson, what are you doing? Game in and game out, the telltale of the game has been Dylan Harper. It's not been De'Aaron Fox, it's been Dylan Harper. And I don't know this weird allegiance to De'Aaron Fox because for the longest he's been the starter, but this entire playoff run, we have seen Dylan Harper outplay De'Aaron Fox game in and game out. It was the same in the last series against Oklahoma City, and then you made the adjustment. This series, you made the adjustment in the fourth quarter, and the game in which you did make the adjustment, you won. Last night's game, you stuck with De'Aaron Fox, and what happened? You lost. So a lot of this blame has to go on Mitch Johnson. And again, Mitch Johnson, for the lack of better words, this is his first real year coaching the Spurs team. Because remember, he was giving the team last year when they kind of like ushered Popovich up out of there. Remember, Popovich had to go sit down for a couple of games. They basically made him sit down because his health was just starting to get out of control. And Mitch Johnson kind of took over this team. So this is his first real year kind of really coaching his team without Popovich looking over his shoulders. And we're starting to see rookie mistakes. A lot of rookie mistakes. So first things first, Mitch Johnson's going to get the blame. Also, you got to give Wembanyama some rest. You got to sit Wemby. Everybody else, you can play in 2-3 minute spurts. Wemby is probably going to have to get a 4 or 5 minute rest. But again, because of the way the series has been going, when you take Wembanyama out, that's when the Knicks go on their runs. So it's almost like you have to leave him in the game. So first things first, the blame is going to go on Mitch Johnson. Secondly, and most importantly, Victor Wembanyama. But let's get into the game, and then we'll get into Wemby. The San Antonio Spurs hit a career high, an NBA Finals record, 14 threes in the first half. The score was 76-49. So we all thought at halftime this game was over. And boy, were we wrong. Boy, were we wrong. The second half, the San Antonio Spurs went ice cold. The stat says they went 3 from 17 from deep. So in the first half, you hit 14 threes. The second half combined, you only hit 3, let alone only hit 8 shots. You were 8 for 39 from the field, 3 from 17 from deep. To me, that was insane. That was the telltale of the entire game. And again, as we've been saying, and as the sports pundits and everybody that has been watching this series has been saying, the New York Knicks have not been playing good basketball. This is not a dominant New York Knicks team. This is not a Knicks team that has been blowing the Spurs out. No. In every one of these games, the San Antonio Spurs have been winning. And somehow, some way, they keep cutting these leads. And we're going to blame it on youthfulness for the Spurs because, again, the average age of this team is 25 years old. The oldest person is De'Aaron Fox at 28. But respectfully, Dylan Harper, who's 20, 21, 22, is outplaying the veteran. And the veteran had a brain fart moment. But again, we'll save that for my closing speech. But last night, the Spurs in the second half only made 8 shots. Clinging on to a 106-105 lead with under 10 seconds left, De'Aaron Fox does the unthinkable, has a J.R. Smith-esque moment. And the same thing that happened to J.R. Smith in that finals against the Warriors, right, where he got the rebound and ran the other way. This was De'Aaron Fox basically getting the ball, attempting to go for a layup. Instead of dribbling it out, making the Knicks foul you, and hey, if they make the 3, they make the 3. He decides he can outrun OG Anunoby. And in the moment, same thing like J.R. Smith, it was a basketball play. So I'm not going to kill De'Aaron Fox for that. However, in that moment, you have to know awareness. You have to know time, clock. You got to know all of these things. And I think in that moment, De'Aaron Fox was just too in the moment. Same thing with J.R. Smith. You get the rebound, you're already going to overtime anyway. Try to go back up with it. That's what LeBron was saying. He's like, what are you doing? And we all was looking at the game last night like, De'Aaron Fox, what are you doing? Now, let's get into Victor Wembanyama, who finished the game last night with 24 points and 13 rebounds. And side note, Knicks fans, we love y'all. We love New York. I've been to New York. I love New York. I love everything about New York. But y'all got to chill, gang. Y'all beating up people in the streets. Y'all throwing eggs at the players. It's getting out of control. It's giving you've never won a game before. It's giving you've never been in this moment before. It's giving your fans are unruly. And again, in the NFL, fans can get out of hand, but we've never seen this in the NBA where each and every series, y'all are beating up the opposing team fans. Anybody that come to New York with an opposite jersey outside of blue and orange, you're getting stomped out. You're getting stomped out. I mean, it's ridiculous. After the game, the fans threw an egg at Victor Wembanyama. Y'all won the game. Y'all won the game. Why are y'all bullying the opposing team that you beat? It's one thing I saw that y'all lost. All right, that's different. Y'all won the game, and y'all are still out there bullying people. That has to stop. But Victor Wembanyama last night finished with 24 points, and 13 rebounds, and missed two crucial free throws at the end of the game. Two crucial free throws at the end of the game that basically would have extended the New York Knicks lead, which would have the San Antonio Spurs lead, which would have forced the New York Knicks to ultimately have to score the basketball. And Victor Wembanyama does this weird thing when he shoots free throws, he closes his eyes and then shoots the free throw. Like, you're not even looking at the basket. Your whole routine is he gets to the line, takes a deep breath, closes his eyes, opens them, and then shoots the free throw. I've never seen that before. Like, you're not even looking at the rim before you even shoot the free throw. And again, one of the most gifted NBA players that we've ever seen is slowly but surely starting to have these brain fart moments in the clutch. And we're going to give him some grace and mercy only because he's 22. So albeit being 22 years old, we're going to show you some grace and mercy. You had the brain fart in game 2 where you weren't paying attention when you passed it to Castle off the back. Brunson gets it, scores. Ultimately gets fouled, makes the free throws, the game is over. And then you missed the game-winning shot in the clutch in game 2. Game 3, you came out, you played better. You had 30-some points along with the double-digit rebounds. But then somehow in game 4, fourth quarter, leading down the way, you fall away from these games. And last night, once again, in the big moment, you missed 2 free throws. Those 2 free throws, to me, were bigger than the Miss Johnson and bigger than De'Aaron Fox mistakes that the San Antonio Spurs made last night. Because if Victor Wembanyama makes these free throws, we're not even talking about this. Is 2-2 going back to San Antonio. So again, Victor Wembanyama is young. He's only 22 years old. It's his 3rd year in the league. LeBron was in the same situation, right? Remember the 06-07 Cavs where he brought them to the playoffs. Ultimately, he got swept by the San Antonio Spurs. So this could just very well be a moment where the moment is just too big for you. I knew Victor Wembanyama was cooked when I saw him show up to the game in the bedazzled jacket. He coming to the game swaggy. He not coming to the game on monk mode with the clock on and all of that. He not doing none of that. This series, he been coming to the game swaggy. I'm like, I don't like that from Victor Wembanyama. Last series, for the most part, he was dressing like a nun. He had on the big cloak, right? Came to the game with the book. He in New York with the glasses on, with the yellow shoe, with the checker pants, swagging. I'm like, yeah, nah, we ain't getting an aggressive Wemby. I guarantee you, Game 5 in San Antonio, we're going to get an aggressive Victor Wembanyama. He's a young player. He's very talented. But I think we do this thing in the league where when we have somebody that's a budding superstar, we automatically like to crown them. Coming out of that Oklahoma City series, we automatically crowned him the best player in the league. We already gave him the NBA 2K27 cover. I've never seen that. And I've never seen them give somebody the cover during the playoffs, let alone during the finals run, and the season isn't even over yet. They already said, yeah, you're the cover athlete. I was confused. But again, this is what we do in American media. We automatically crown the next guy, and he hasn't really earned it. Yes, he came out of the West. Yes, they beat the 60-win Oklahoma City Thunder team. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're the guy just yet. And we're seeing in these finals, pretty much outside of Game 3, where down the stretch in the fourth quarter and clutch moments, you kind of have brain farts. And again, we're going to just attribute that to youthfulness. 2 from 9 from the field in the fourth quarter is unacceptable. You got to get more touches towards the paint. All of Wemby touches are on the perimeter. That's not really his game. Victor Wembanyama really is a rhythm shooter, meaning once he gets going, then that's when the three gets going. Meaning he's passing the ball, he's attacking the basket, he's getting blocks on defense. That's when his three-point shot starts falling. But him just sagging around the three-point line thinking that he's just going to make that shot, relying on that jump shot, to me is unacceptable. Win, lose, or draw this series, this summer, he's going to have to go get a post game. He's going to go have to get a mid-range game. He's going to have to figure out how can I dominate the paint outside of defense on the offensive end in order to get like guaranteed touches. Shaq, all the big men, Yao, like all of the big men, Pau Gasol, all of the big men that we've known in the past have always had a go-to move. Victor has no go-to move. It's almost kind of just with the handle, free flow, whatever happens, happens. No, he needs to have 2 or 3 moves in his bag, guaranteed is going to get him a bucket. And again, he's only 22. This is the first time in his NBA career where he's playing high-level basketball. So he's going to have moments to grow from this experience. But last night, missing 2 free throws, not just making 1. You missed both of them. Shame on you. Shame on you. The first time when you made the mistake in game 2, we gave you a pass. All right, he was young. Sometimes in life we have a brain fart. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, you can't get fooled again. So again, Victor Wembanyama has a lot of growing up to do, but we're going to give him some grace and mercy. As I close, where did the San Antonio Spurs go from here? And you notice we didn't really talk about the Knicks because there's nothing really to talk about. Yes, Jalen Brunson has been playing good basketball for the most part. Karl Anthony Towns has kind of been up and down, up and down, up and down. Outside of OG Anunoby, everybody else has been suspect at best. A lot of these games, as we've been saying, have been at the hands of the San Antonio Spurs losing these leagues. Now, I do believe San Antonio Spurs will win Game 5 on Saturday. So that's going to make the series 3-2, going back to New York on Tuesday for Game 6. And at that point, you just need one. You just need one to bring it back to San Antonio for a Game 7. So if you are the San Antonio Spurs, the series isn't definitely over. You still got a chance, but you got to get one. And that one you got to get is Saturday. And then you take it to Tuesday for Game 6, because if we notice, the point discrepancy in all of these games have been 1 point. The only game that was a difference was Game 1, which was a 10-point game. And again, we saw the San Antonio Spurs collapse in the 4th quarter, and as a result, that's how the Knicks won that game. Every other game has been 4 points, 1 point. Last night, 1 point. Game 3, 4 points. Game 2, 1 point. Game 1, 10 points. So these games have relatively been neck and neck the entire series. So if you're the San Antonio Spurs, you hold your head up high. You can basically look in the mirror and say, I have been beating myself. This team is not better than us. We have been making mistakes down the stretch of these games that have been costing us the game. So if you're the Spurs, only thing you got to do is get one. Now, we've seen a team do this before. So it has been done, meaning there have been a team in the NBA Finals, the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers, playing the 73-9 Golden State Warriors, came back down 3-1. But again, that team had Kyrie and LeBron, who basically went God mode in those games in order to basically say, we're not losing. Now, is Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs going to go God mode and win these next 3 games? I don't know. It's yet to be seen. But we've seen it happen before. So everybody thinking that the series is just over and the Spurs are cooked, I would say no. Because again, if you're the San Antonio Spurs, you got to look at these games and be encouraged and think, bro, we have been in these games leading. We have just been beating ourselves. This team is not better than us. So if you're the San Antonio Spurs, there is a way. However, you got to win Game 5. You got to win Game 5, and it's like, all right, if y'all going to close this out, y'all going to beat us in New York, not in San Antonio. All the pressure right now currently is on the New York Knicks, meaning the Knicks have to close out the Spurs. The Knicks have to win 1 game. If you're the Spurs, we just need to get 1. Get it back to New York, in which we've shown we can win, and then anything goes in Game 7. Y'all let me know in the comment section down below y'all thoughts on this series. Do y'all think this series is over? Do you think the Spurs still have a chance? Do you think the New York Knicks have been playing good basketball? Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you hit the like button, comment. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's a live sports show on YouTube. It's your boy Addison Tripp. We out.